Walaikum salam, guys. I mean, he can if he want to. I think he can if he wants to. I mean, I'm, I'm okay with it. चलो, क्या बात है शिराज भाई. All right, guys. I think we're just waiting for a couple of people to join in. I've shared the link with you guys, तो अगर आप लोग share करना चाहें तो कर सकते हैं. Yeah, we're live. Let me. Uh, yeah, we're live. Thumbs up, guys. Do a thumbs up. Thumbs up. Oh, hello. Shiraz bhai is lagging. I think he's lagging really bad. Oh no. I think he should restart it. Yeah. Yep. I think it is yours. We've got. Yeah. I mean, right now, you guys. I mean, right now, you guys. The only thing these guys are hearing right now is my voice because I'm waiting. Assalamu alaikum, guys. कैसे हैं आप सब? Technical difficulties. 2 minute hold करें. आज we're on time because we have some timely guests today, and I did not take a million years to set up. So yeah, I mean, it's only 2 minutes, which is great by my own standards. So, कोई बात नहीं. We're waiting for a couple of people to join in, and then we can start talking. Oh my God, there's 13 people watching. That's a lot. Let's take a look at the chat. क्या चल रहा है chat में? Throw in any questions you guys have. मैं आप लोग से जो questions. Yep. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. ये बिल्कुल. अरबाज भाई XD. What's so funny? अरबाज भाई सवाल है आप लिख दें. कैसे हैं आप अरबाज? I think once I post this to the Instagram, we're gonna have a couple of people joining in as well. तो शिराज भाई आपका कैमरा शैमरा ऑन नहीं हो सकता? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. बिल्कुल. Uh, hmm. Yeah, well, I think your camera's off. That's it. I think internet's perfect, but the camera's off. अच्छा, try. Um, okay. Interesting questions, guys. I like these questions. These are nice questions. I think we're ready. Assalamu alaikum, guys. Welcome to our live stream today. Very special live stream. We are here with two extremely special guests. People who are responsible for the basketball revolution in Karachi, so to speak. And one of them, whose name you've heard of, the other one, I would say, is also extremely responsible, but you might not have heard of him as much because he's more of a behind the scenes type of guy. And he's the person I'm going to introduce first. Please welcome onto the stream, Mr. Shiraz Alam. कैसे हैं आप शिराज भाई? अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
Aslam, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really well. And his childhood friend and also the man responsible who needs no introduction in Karachi basketball. If you play in Karachi basketball, you must thank him, our Lord and Savior, Mr. SHAHZAIN MALIK, CEO of League of Basketball. कैसे हैं आप शाहजैन भाई?
Thank you for that really, really
I
embarrassing
love this
introduction,
Shahzain
Uh,
now.
Mars. My
Lord
my
and
close friends, my close friends already think I have a hero complex and a savior complex. So this is not going to do me any favors.
I mean, I don't see them doing.
I'm gonna call you Jesus from now on.
Uh,
Can you walk on
uh,
water?
uh,
Have you ever tried that?
I mean,
I've never tried that. No,
Alright, let's try it.
I'm
inshallah, next
inshallah.
time. Not on this stream.
Not on this stream, please. No,
It's
we.
but that said, it's a pleasure to be on this league report. I enjoy and I'm very happy and proud of everything you're doing, Maz.
Thank you so
Getting the
For
word
much.
out
sure.
and trying to unite all of Pakistan when it comes to basketball. So hopefully we can get some good questions and see
Mm,
what we can do to
abs
help you out here.
Absolutely. And the first question that I will field is from Arbaz Khan. Arbaz, I think this is Arbaz that plays in our league, C2 checkmate, and I believe now maybe going to the Dukes. New rumor for you guys. Arbaz Khan.
No, interesting.
He's asking, and basically, what are the upcoming goals and objectives of LOB? And Shazan and Shiraz bhai, both of you can sort of go off. Shazan, you can start, but first, I want you to talk about like what is basically the objective of LOB. For someone who doesn't know what LOB is all about, League of Basketball, please introduce us.
So League of Basketball or LOB for short, the objective has always been very clear, at least to me, and I try to communicate it to my team members who work for LOB and anyone who is associated with LOB. It is to promote basketball within Pakistan and try to bring it to the forefront. We have a lot of people with a lot of talent who don't get enough of an opportunity to showcase what they can do, and they don't have the right facilities. So League of Basketball is trying to bridge that gap and trying to fill that need. So our short-term goals, if you are in Karachi, you know, is to make our new facility in Karamgi fully functional and to get people to move and migrate from our original facility to the new one. That's our short-term goal. Our long-term goal is to get Pakistan basketball under League of Basketball's banner and to uplift just the standard of basketball throughout, whether it's through coaching or through facility, through many, many different avenues. We're going to explore anything we can to promote basketball.
Sai. So in terms of expansion, we have questions about expansion. So obviously that means that expansion is on the
Yeah,
cards and something that
Yeah.
you
yeah,
would
of
want to
course.
go
All of
towards.
us. We said Pakistan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But for
for
I
sure.
mean, step at a time.
right.
Yeah, go on.
Uh,
Sorry.
we know that there's a huge demand for lob to come to places like Punjab and in even in KP. Not so much in Balochistan, but at least in these two provinces. And we are well aware, and we want to move towards those provinces. It's just there's a lot of operational issues that we have to overcome and deal with, and figure out our short-term goals over here before we can get and tackle that. But yeah, don't think that we don't want to get there. That's the real
Yeah.
end goal.
I mean, we have to first Karachi, and then the next, then expand it and
Yeah,
replicate it.
because even Lob in Karachi hasn't reached the heights that it can. I think there's a lot of talent in this city that we haven't explored yet. Um,
Yeah,
so
of course. There's a lot of work to do yet in Karachi,
That's an interesting
and
take
we're on track. So
about Karachi itself because most people would see the amount of basketball being played and someone would feel. Acha, very quick question from Khizr Rahman. Khizr is asking Shiraz bhai, where are you right now? He's
in the
missing your red.
village,
Yeah,
oh
Shiraz bhai
no,
is Shiraz bhai
इधर
is
जितने मच्छर हैं हम लोग की सोच में है.
Shiraz has gone to explore the talent in interior.
new 2-3 SB signings.
Interior, yes. मैं
uh,
नहीं हम सिर्फ ABCD को पकड़ते हैं अमेरिकन प्रोडक्ट. इम्पोर्टेड माल
uh,
हमारा है तुम लोग.
you can have the rest.
Timmy and Salu would have contention with that, I would say.
हाँ वो एक्सपोर्ट क्वालिटी लोग है ना. इम्पोर्ट माल या एक्सपोर्ट क्वालिटी.
That is really funny. But yeah, so the thing that I was talking about is that most people would think, like LOB has done all it can in Karachi, but you feel like there's still a lot more, like in terms of what you want to do with Karachi. So talk a little bit about that, perhaps.
So, I mean, I've heard from Asad Imam, who used to be the main person responsible for Arambag's youth development. And he's a big supporter of LOB as well. Shout out to you, Asad Imam. He used to tell me about how the kids at Arambag used to be really passionate about basketball, but as time went on, they didn't have the coaching or the facilities to be able to really explore those things. Some of those players are still around in the form of the Mavs that we have in Lon, but a lot of them have gone into other, you know, other areas because they just didn't see basketball as viable for them to pursue. Uh, and I think just based on that fact alone, and we need to be able to expand to more areas within Karachi because right now we've pretty much grasped,
Mhm.
uh, I think, defense in Clifton, some in Malay, there's so much more that we can do even within those areas and beyond. So that there's always room for improvement when it comes to expanding, when it comes to
Yeah.
basketball.
So there
Absolutely. And also in general, this transition that we're going through, पूरी facility we perfect हो जाए. तो मतलब there's a lot. अभी तो, and I think we're on also never going to be satisfied, always looking to get better.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
right,
mhm.
interesting take. A lot of people are also asking any chance of new courts. I'll let
I
you
mean, we
guys.
already have one new court.
Uh,
Uh, Beyond
अभी
that,
खोलने दो properly.
look, we can't promise new course, but we will do once we finish this facility and we have this operational. The next tackle, we've discussed this. We discussed this in year one when law was created. Is that we're going to start revamping courts that are already existing, make them playable enough for people to
Yeah.
go
mm,
and actually play
Mhm.
basketball in their neighborhoods, rather than have to come all the way to law to play, which we don't mind.
Yeah.
Come, we'll provide you coaching, and provide you a state-of-the-art facility, but we will try and fix up and revamp the courts that are already available in the city. Because Lord knows no one else is doing it.
that hopefully that should, I feel like that will also sort of tie into the thing that we were talking about, where like there's a whole market of players that isn't exactly accessible because a lot of the challenges come or stem from the fact that there aren't like courts in the locality, and for some it's difficult to travel all the way there.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
And we're gonna eventually after because that's step one. When we revamp the corps, the next step after that would be to do academy drive. So we will take our coaches that we have at our law facilities and go to these different courts, and we will pay
Mhm.
for it, like as law, so that people can come and just even if it's once a month or twice a month, we'll have them go out there and just train the kids or whoever wants to take lessons. And
Yeah.
that's just, that's how we're going to try and start promoting basketball. But these are things down the line that we have in store. So don't think that we don't have plans.
Fine.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, so we've got a couple of questions. I think now, Shazan bhai, it would be a good time for us to talk about like how exactly this sort of happened to come about. Because did you just randomly one day wake up and think, you know what, let's start our own league. We'll see how it goes. How did the story happen? This is
You
a
want to
story
tell
that.
the real story or the with names, Shazan?
I, I,
No.
I mean, I feel like I give the as real as an account as I possibly can. But I think the honest truth is for me, I was probably very, very late to the party when it came to starting the league of basketball. There were a lot more people who were already convinced about starting a league and making it work before I got on board. Um, One of them is here in the call with me, Shiraz Alam, and the other one was His Munir. Is His Munir? He's in London now. But these two gentlemen were the first to try and actually start their own basketball league in the form of RBL. And this was early, I think, in 2016 or 17 they started. Like I'm not maybe it was 2018, one or the other. And the success of that made me rethink. how I would I be interested in starting a league or joining hands with them? Because initially, when these two guys started doing it, I was completely hands off. I said, "They, you guys want to do it, you guys do it." We didn't even have the original log court. It was at a school which is no longer there anymore.
It was under
Licor,
construction at this point, I think, right?
yeah, and we were doing we held the first RBL, which is what you guys started at Licol, which is not even a
Yeah,
school there anymore. Now I think Scepter.
I think it's
Scepter's
Cedar.
taken it over. I'm not sure. Cedar
Uh,
Cedar has taken it over
uh,
that that venue. And after we did that tournament, we then saw the Mambas, which is the Mambas team right now. They hosted another tournament, and they improved on your initial sort of tournament that you guys did. And so I was like, okay,
we
so they're
already
not only
had the. Go on. So
yeah. So I was just like,
basically,
they no,
the
I was basically saying that they not only
strat.
improved on what you had already started, but they were dedicated enough to do it on their own. So
Yeah,
I thought
for
that
sure.
if we have enough people who are interested and capable, then we can make
Hmm.
this something that
Yeah,
can last.
yeah. Like, I think like when initially the three of us would have the conversation, um, we did talk about stats, but we said कि अगले साल पहले साल सिर्फ let's just get a 3v3, and then the second year we saw Mambas did that. They beat us to the gun on the stats thing, but we already had that in plan. Okay, fine. Then next year we did point, rebound, and assist, and then I think when you guys started with lob, you added steals, turnovers, everything, and was so
Stream. We also
you
added
thought.
streams.
I was mentioning the story about why you made the code.
I mean, the code was simply because there was no facility. Like all the codes that we
Yeah.
had were pretty much broken down, and the one that I was playing
Yeah.
next to had like trash burning next to it. I won't name the court, but if you know, you know. So then I was just like, yo, I mean, why am I doing this? I'm trying to do something healthy for my health, and I should make a court that is up to
Yeah.
mark and won't have trash burning next to it.
Mhm. And
So
what tipped you over the
that's how Lob really began. It was never
yeah.
supposed to be something that was going to be all through Pakistan, Pan Pakistan. It was just supposed to be a couple of friends who
All
wanted to get get together maybe once a
play
week
together.
or during Ramadan and just play together. But then we saw the passion from the young guys, and then we saw the
Hmm.
desire for it to just grow and grow, and we just rode that momentum.
right.
Yeah.
Quite the story. Here's one thing I feel like not a lot of people know about. They've always heard, and like from the way that the story is told, it seems like, at least to someone who's giving an outside perspective, it might seem like it was smooth sailing throughout. So I want you guys to be a little bit more open about sort of the challenges that you faced when you actually began this, and sort of like if we have someone who's watching and who's being inspired by what you're doing and wants to do what you did, like talk us through the journey, and talk us through some of the things that happened. And also, we've got a very fun question. Yeah, Ali Jafri, Assalamu alaikum, Ali bhai. How you doing? He asks, what kind of backlash/challenges did you face from the existing basketball community, if any, in Karachi when you sort of did this?
I feel like I'm taking a lot of the
Uh-huh.
airtime, so I'll let Shiraz answer this one.
Okay, okay, okay.
Backland. Or you want me to answer the non-fun question? I know. I think like initially there were teething issues and always just getting it going because it is obviously a non-profit organization and um, it's a community-driven effort, right? So initially, I think that was a bit of a challenge, and I've been more involved in the past 3 months. So actually, Shazan, you would be the better person to answer the challenges that you had to face in getting it up and running. I think my main, what?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, in the initial days, there was a there was not many challenges because we didn't have any issues in terms of location, which is what, the number one
Yeah,
thing that you need to be able to sort out. So we had a
exactly.
location. You
People
didn't have
wanted to
issues
come.
with people. We didn't have issues with the initial players because we already had a tournament that was being run in the city that was not that the players were fed up with, right? And so because I had been playing in that tournament for a while, it was very easy to get the buy-in from the existing community of players. They were all very interested in, at least at the very least, going and playing in LOB, or what was the first iteration of LOB, because we had already done the Ramzan League and we were starting real LOB tournaments. So yeah, so both these things were there, and we were promising to have stream response, follow stats. So the real issues we were facing was trying to find a videography team that was going to be able to handle that sort of demand at a price that we could manage, because right, like Lob's a non-profit, so we were going on sponsorships. We still are to this day going on sponsorships and donations.
That's one of the
And
challenges in the beginning.
yeah, and we were very lucky that we found Seven, who is still
Mhm.
to this day our media team and a media partner. And those guys
Yeah,
actually, if you want to
heroes.
give, yeah, if you want to give credit to anyone for the
Mhm.
continued success, it's them, because when they
Yeah,
started, they did not know anything about basketball. They did not know the rules of basketball. They did not know about players of basketball. Everything they learned was on job. They learned
yeah.
through just doing, and
Mm.
it's so impressive their how they've managed to do to do what they've done and taken Lob to
And
where
they
Lob
continue to
is today.
grow.
Yeah, yeah. So
They keep getting better
they
all
were
the time.
good. They were good, and the community buy-in was huge. Like, because uh, honestly, we didn't know what the best material for jerseys was going to be. We had like so many people suggest like this is where we can go, this is what we can do. People were like, oh, we'll give it to you guys for free. Um, so yeah, I think initially there were very few challenges. It was only after we started doing a couple of tournaments when we started facing real backlash, and Pakistan Basketball Federation started stepping in and saying that, okay, like if players play here, they won't be able to go to nationals, for example. And then we had
Yeah.
to, you know, adjust and figure out how to tackle those
Yeah.
issues. And that's, by the way, still one of our major problems if we want to expand to like Punjab, because we know that we're going to face backlash when we get there, like
Mm.
this.
Hmm. Yeah, we'll take it when it comes.
Yeah.
Right. Acha, so someone else asked
But
earlier in the chat.
I mean, I hope
yeah,
I
any
answered
other
all the questions.
problems? Any other
Um,
like is was this in mind? What you had in mind in terms of challenges or whatever, or was there more
Or is there,
specific,
yeah,
something specific? I
yeah.
mean,
If there's
other
anything
than
specific you want to ask.
yeah, I'll
okay,
ask. I'll ask specifically in terms of challenges, but there's someone who has asked specifically, do you plan on making a profit off of LOB? Like, I think you mentioned this right now that LOB is a non-profit,
do you have
but
Yeah,
please go ahead.
I do this. So I have a full-time business that I'm looking after outside of law, and it's a family business. I don't think it's really a secret for people who, uh, you know, play at law or know me. So that's where I make my money and I make my living. Lob is a passion project, and what I do with Lob is just making it self-sufficient and enough for that the salaries of the players, or sorry, not the players, the people who are, working and trying
management?
to make it bigger and manage it. It's for them and like the
Yeah,
videography team. But that's pretty much it, and the referees. So anyone who's involved in the management side of Lob, it's to pay their salaries, and yeah, that's as much as I need for law. And
yeah,
if we can eventually get to a point where we get enough donations to expand when it comes to facilities or renovations, like I said, when it comes to these other courts, great. That's as much. I don't take a cent out of law.
I mean, we have ideas, inshallah, that it can make even
Hmm.
the expansion do it in a self-sufficient way.
Say.
And by the way, so it's not just me. Like everyone else who's on the director level, they all also don't take anything. Like no
Yeah,
money, nothing from law. They just give their
Yeah.
time.
You
yeah.
can mention the board of directors, I guess, so people, if that's something that you guys would want to do, if you want to talk about who's on the board of
I haven't
directors.
discussed it with
Yeah.
I haven't discussed with the other directors if they want to be named.
Uh,
So
Okay, okay,
But
okay.
there are two other directors, is what
Okay,
I
okay.
mentioned.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
सही है. Right. So I hope that
Okay,
sort of
it's
answers
kind of
some of your questions.
similar.
Okay. So the next question that I want is after you sort of established, like season one हो गया, season two हो गया. So like these iterations, obviously, as you go through them, you realize certain things. So what were some of those key moments of realizations that you think really changed things for the league? Like some sort of milestones where, like on a management level, you guys changed something up, and then that really just like swung the doors open or did something acha. Yeah. So
Shiraz?
I mean, not like a key key moments, but क्या कहते हैं, I mean, Mad, you've been there. We've faced a lot of problems, all of it together and stuff. ये होता है, like this happens in most startups or anything to maintain the culture. I think that's one of the challenges is to keep to not let the culture ever go out of hand.
mm,
And
Yep.
maintaining it with integrity, and we figured out, and now the purpose, even why my timing for entry is even perfect, is कि professionalism की तरफ हम और जा रहे हैं. शुरू में था कि बस हम we had barely any sponsors, we had barely any funds to start this, and we were just figuring it out. So क्या कहते हैं, we had those teething issues and dramas and all of that. So क्या कहते हैं, I'm
yeah.
sorry, what was the question again?
The question, the question was what was there like any sort of point that you felt like any change that
A
you made
point. Yeah, I don't.
across iterations of the league that like changes
So
that you went through as the seasons
I,
happened.
I think remember that one meeting where we had everybody over there, and we just क्या कहते हैं, ऊपर था, and I just realized that when everybody started having conversation and how it was run, that was the very trust gaining moment for the community.
That
Yep. I mean,
You know what I'm talking about?
you can talk
काफी
about it in
लोग ऊपर
detail.
आ गए थे हम सब.
uh, for me, I don't. So, like any company, things are always changing. Certain things remain the same, but things are always in flux and they're always moving. And so I can't really point to one moment where you can say, "Aha, that's where it all changed." I think there was a lot of things that happened, a lot of dominoes fell, and
Yeah,
we just kept moving along with them. And so I'll just say we were very fortunate that the people we were surrounded with and the decisions we took, I think, in terms of trying to maintain our integrity, because that is the one thing that I think Lob has, is that at any
yeah,
turn where our integrity was questioned, I think we took the right calls. That
yeah.
and it takes years to build trust, but it takes one bad decision to break it. And
Mhm.
so that is something that I think I will pride not just myself but the entire management team with, that we try to keep the trust of the players and beyond, our audience. So
And like always compartmentalizing, to add on to what you're saying,
yeah,
Yeah,
between, because most of the management is also players, and I think that's something
yeah,
that whoever
it's
you
very
want to say,
difficult.
or whoever is part of the management, we always try to emphasize on that as well, कि कभी कोई bias ना हो, या that's what we used to always feel like at, I think everyone would feel like at Arambagh, is that there were always something or the other.
There was a lack
But
of
we're still
integrity.
improving daily with the refs and everything. There's still a lot, like those are the improvements I'm talking about. Inshallah, we'll be seeing more of that as well.
Yeah,
So as we grow,
yeah.
everyone with us grows with us.
inshallah, inshallah, zarur.
Sure.
Okay, we not a question. That's funny. I just got a comment that's saying not a question, but I just want to say Shiraz makes some of the best burgers in K Town. Shiraz
Thanks,
bhai,
Azan.
Shiraz bhai. That's not Azan. That's not Azan.
अभी
Oh,
कौन
thanks,
कह रहा
Aisha.
It's no, it's not Aisha either.
Oh, wow.
था?
It's Ali Jafri.
Who?
And it must be true. Oh, then it
Oh
must be
no.
true.
Oh no.
Damn, that's
Uh,
impressive because Ali Jafri hasn't had your burgers in years.
No, I think
exactly.
he where did he have it? The log wala?
I think he had it at RBL, the first one, when you
A
the
first one.
first one that you did.
Oh, oh
Yeah,
no. Okay, Ali, you need
yeah,
to try them now.
That's crazy.
they're
Ali
So,
very
bhai,
good.
inshallah, holy
They're
smokes
much
will
better.
be. By the way, another interesting fact about holy smokes and
hmm.
lob is they've always been interconnected as well. Okay, RBL and holy smokes. So part of the whole experience as well that we try to work up is okay, there should always be food at these events as well. So we're all at these RBL events. We're providing a service in a way, entertainment. So
True.
he'll be back soon. He'll be back.
Okay, okay, okay,
More
okay.
burgers for everyone.
More burgers for everyone at the new facility and बहुत मजा आने वाला है guys ये होगा. Okay, so now that we've done this, let's talk about some of your favorite moments, guys. Like not again, this is me asking management. So what do you guys think were like some great moments across great moments across the, what do we call it? Like across the seasons,
This,
something that you really enjoyed. Shiraz bhai, you go
oh man,
first.
I 2-3SB winning the
For
first
them too.
championship,
Uh-uh.
2 winning the second championship, 2-3SB winning the
That's
last
my
champ.
first.
Ah. Hey,
No,
come on, come on, come on.
the
ये तो
All-Star
of course,
game.
हाँ.
Which All-Star? Second All-Star game was it?
In the rain, that was the first, I
No,
think.
that was the first one.
Mm,
The In the Rain was the first one.
I think second वाली थी ना जहाँ पे that as management I was like okay fine yeah
The second one,
this can be something.
I think the pictures from the first one were the absolute craziest, and it was like a testament
First or
again.
second, I'm not sure which one it was.
Yeah, that was a really, really fun day. Playing in that game was crazy.
And I think like moments. What are the favorite moments? 2-3 SB
There's so
finals
many,
have been
man.
mega fun. 2-3 SB and
There's so
Mamba
many,
finals was
and
crazy, dude.
and I mean, I also feel like it's not it's not fair just to only talk about Lob because W Lob had its great
No,
moments as well.
I'm saying
Like
included as well.
I know, so I think that Omega comeback against Mambasitas over the
In
Macaulay
season
the
two
Mambasitas
final,
over the
yeah,
neighborhood that
yeah,
time. That
Mamacitas.
was incredible,
Yeah, to be without
incredible game to
Aisha,
watch
without Harim,
without Aisha.
that
That was a
was.
great game. That was fantastic.
Hmm.
And shout out to them, be able to do it. When they won their first championship, Ans bumping the captain, the
Rida.
that was really funny.
Speaking of once,
That was really funny.
I'm being told, and I literally got calls right now. Okay, Ans or someone. So I mean, Ans has asked this question. Even if I didn't tell you who asked this question, uh, the question is, and this is again something that we've been over this a million times, but why not? Ans Azhar asking, why are you such a Kobe hater, especially being someone who embodies his mentality?
I've said this multiple times. I don't hate Kobe. I just don't think he's top three or top five. It could be arguably, depending on how you phrase the conversation, he's top five. But what I will say is that he's a great player, and great players have good traits, and some of those traits you should take from them and work and
Some of those
embody
you
them.
shouldn't.
And that's what I do. And that's what I do.
I think like to be more specific, in my opinion of Kobe is that his work ethic is unparalleled. You should take that, leave the rest. Like that.
चलो भाई,
The whole teammate bashing and all that. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
चलो भाई.
But yeah,
Yeah.
just his work ethic. I
Next,
love Kobe Bryant's work ethic.
next question is, when are we going to Sakura? So,
Uh, Mars,
what is this?
whenever Mars and Shiraz, you guys are free, let's go to Sakura. Let's go. You
क्या
and
क्या
me,
बात है
you,
यार?
all three of
हम
us.
Let's
टीम
go,
करते हैं.
let's go, bro. Let's
Yeah,
go,
let's go.
Shira. क्या बात है शाहजैन भाई? Perfect.
We'll
Um,
bring take
Jab
away from them. Take away ले
yeah.
लेंगे.
क्या
For
बात है?
who?
आधी बाइट
Mars,
लेके सारी
Mars.
सुशीश के आधे
I don't know
बाइट
what
लेंगे,
first.
वापस डालेंगे और अंश को दे देंगे.
I don't know.
Uh,
First of all, I don't know why you're bringing Ans into this. Mars asked me when are we going for Sakura. I'm answering his question. He asked me. I'm saying we, the three of us, can go whenever you guys want.
oh,
I know,
क्या बात
I
है?
didn't say anything. I just think we get some leftovers for
Um,
once.
No,
I'm
why? What does he have to do
big
with
in
this?
leftovers. I don't know.
Kobe don't do
Yeah.
no leftovers, neither would us.
यार अच्छा तो शाहजैन भाई something I'd want to ask is कि obviously LOB is माशाल्लाह से famous across the entirety of Pakistan. So we would like you to know if there's been teams that have come from outside of just Karachi who come to play in LOB, and because like there's a lot of interest being shown towards LOB, and बहुत से लोग पूछते हैं कि LOB में कैसे खेलें. तो what exactly is the way to join in and to play in LOB, and उसके अलावा भी अगर कोई खेला है इस कोर्ट पे तो please let us know.
So I mean, a lot of players have come to play at LOB, but sorry, not at LOB, but at the LOB court, the original one. Now, the thing is, to join the league, you have to go through the qualifiers and then make a team and then stay there and then yeah. I mean, we've been through the process. It's on our Instagram right now. You can go see. I think we have a video out on or a reel coming out on how you can go through that process. But there are some fantastic players in Punjab and like even in KP who are like really good who we don't have the privilege of hosting here at Law. One of them was Dan who came and he's been multiple times, but I was there once and they were just throwing down oops. Like he was throwing down oops like it was nothing. It was great to watch him play. And I would love to have him in the league, but unfortunately, right now Lob is only Karachi based. We have to operationally figure out how we can go and incorporate teams from Lahore, Islamabad, Peshawar. So yeah, that's that's the answer to that
I
question.
I have I have a question, Shadan. Here's something that I'm pitching to you as the idea just came to me. I'm not sure if you're aware, but from the 1st of May to the 9th of May, it's going to be the national games.
Mhm.
And so we'll have teams from all over Pakistan, including the departmental teams. So no. Can League Report work something out with Lob, and then we can host something at the new court and have like a grand event where we have these teams come out and they play a couple of exhibition games and stuff like that. So is that something that we can make happen? I think that'd be extremely amazing.
Man, I would love. First of all, let me be the first to say I would love for that to happen. Do I think it's operationally possible? In fact, I'll also say it before I say the but. If that were to happen, you guys don't need to worry about raising any funds. I will sponsor that all on my own when it comes to videography. Like make sure the videographers are there and it'll be worth their while. Okay, I do that myself. Okay, the second thing is,
uh,
but
mm,
if they're coming for a tournament, they have to be ready for those games. I
yeah.
don't think they will be able to be ready for those games if they are playing in exhibition games for LOB or
Mm,
whatever version of League Report games that they want to be playing.
uh,
And if they, for example, then whichever team they're coming to play for has to allow them to play in these games. So
yeah.
there's a lot of what ifs, but
Mm,
if you can pull all of that off, like I'm telling
mm.
you, I would be the happiest person.
मैं
I would
मैं
open up the
Mas,
facility.
कर ले.
I would
बस
make sure if they can come and play.
बस I'm
Arrange
gonna
it, Mas.
I'm gonna get started on this as soon as possible. But yeah, national level basketball, Shahzan bhai. Obviously we play within LOB, and it's like we've got a great thing going, and there are things that we want to scale. There are things that we want to do. So in terms of just figuring out how we are to go about doing those things. For example, if we talk about, like if you talk about going to Punjab, so what are some of the challenges? You spoke about the fact that, you need explicit permission from the federation, but is that like the primary thing that's been stopping you? Is what exactly is the issue? Or is it just something that you guys don't want to do yet?
Uh, don't want to do is not really the right thing. We want to do it. We will do it. We will eventually get there.
Right.
The it's prioritizing short term, which was what we're our short term goals, which is to make sure this facility is functional. But even if this facility wasn't the issue, I think my main gripe right now and the main issue that I'm facing is that when we started in Karachi, you asked what were our backlashes and what was the issue. And honestly, like I said, we really didn't face much because the community was on board. We had zero backlash when it
Yeah.
came to finding the right people for the right jobs. And and the last thing was the videography team, right? None of those things are available to us in other
Mm.
territories. So to catch lightning in a bottle again like that would be very difficult. And so before I can go and set foot in any other
Exporting
city,
the culture.
I need I need to be able to find the right mix of people. And so that
Yeah.
requires us to go and do, exploratory visits. It would require us to go and find the right people to be able to make this happen. And that
Mm.
to me would be the number one issue. And then the rest, if I can find the right people, I can make anything happen anyway. So
Exactly.
it's the right people.
So, what do you think about initiatives
It's
like,
mainly a personality.
um, what do you think about the initiatives like last year we had the Islamabad Basketball League do its inaugural season, and has there been any conversation with the people who are running it? Have you spoken to them at all? Uh,
I did speak to the person, Dr. Hale, who was behind the Islamabad Basketball League. A
Acha.
great guy. He had passion, and he's even reached out. I think in our first season at Law, that or first year of Law, that he wanted to join hands, and we were very willing to do it. The only issue again became he was one man, and if you if you if you think that a one man army can make these things last, it's not possible. Like if you strip away league report, you strip away the videography team, you strip away my management team over here, Lob won't last more than a couple of months, maybe a year, maybe two, because it's just exhausting for one person to do it all. And I think, and I don't know for sure, but I think that is the reason we haven't seen a second season of Islamabad Basketball League.
Mm, that is interesting. We
Yeah.
hope.
So the main key to success over here is the community driven effort. So we would have to like to go to Lahore, we would have to find the right people who are willing to do it and willing to go through the give their time and matlab kitna Maj, you know yourself कि how
Mm,
much time everybody gives
yeah.
to this, right? And that's the only reason.
Th-
Um, so having the people who have the same level of commitment in Lahore or Islamabad is the only way it's going to work.
Shiraz bhai,
Yeah, and I do. By the way, before you continue, Maz, I have to say this. I
mm,
know I have mentioned a couple of people who are very instrumental at the start, but there are a lot of people who I haven't named who have been equally instrumental or have done a lot. And I don't want to just go on to start naming
yeah.
all of them, but know that you're valued.
Uh,
So
if you
yeah,
know, you know.
Appreciate
Um,
it.
yeah.
but again, Shiraz bhai, the question and to like, I would like to pose to both of you that, um, what do you think is the reason that this sort of the stars kind of aligned with the Karachi scene, and especially because obviously it's not like you phrased it perfectly in calling it like lightning in a bottle in terms of how openly the community welcomed this and how much they gave and how much time they're willing to put in. So what do you really think is the driving factor behind them continuing to put in the work and them continuing to be such a big part? Because if, like you said, it if they stop if they stop participating, then it's very difficult to sustain without them. So what keeps them
I think
going?
it's a from my point of view, it looks like it's the camaraderie. Everybody likes each other. There's a lot of friendship. Chalo, there is issues and all that, but for the most part, the culture and the camaraderie that everyone has, that's what keeps it going a lot as well. And
Mm,
then,
Um,
like, and especially with management, like, I can't give enough credit to especially during this time in running RBL. मतलब सबने बहुत मेहनत की है and they
yeah.
all deserve a badge.
Yeah, so just to go off what Shiraz is saying, I think the number one chief thing is the ownership that all the people involved feel when it comes to law. Like no one can be like ye unne kiya. Everyone who's been part of the management feels a piece of ownership for it. They feel like they contributed to the success of law. And that also comes from the other two things that I think are very important is transparency and integrity. I mentioned integrity before, but transparency is how we're working, what we're doing, and we're never
Yeah.
shy about explaining how we want to do what we want to do. So if
mm,
you have all these three things, you will, all, ni- unless there's
Yeah.
some outside factor, you will always be successful.
Everybody communicates very well in the week. We have sorry, what do you say? You got
No,
cut
no one
off.
said anything. It was just you.
No, no, you were saying everybody communicates really well. You can continue off of that, Shiraz bhai, if you want.
Sorry?
Um, you were saying you were saying that you were communicating really well.
No, no. Everyone
Everyone
in the
was
This is
yeah,
meetings
it.
yeah,
communicates and like discusses very well
yeah,
in the जो meetings में होती है.
right.
शाहजैन के पैराग्राफ्स में बहुत अच्छे मजे के communication होती है. He's the best communicator we
But my
have.
question to you guys would be कि like चलो ठीक है like camaraderie वगैरह you know like people felt that sense of ownership but obviously there was this continued there like there's a way to sustain it and there's a way to like nurture that sort of ownership to have them do things. I've seen people come in, it's not a game day for them. They come in, they sit, they do table for 6 hours straight, three games, and then they go home. So ये सवाल जो है ना how do you like inspire people to work like that for someone who's trying to do something of the sort? How do you get a community to sort of gel like that?
Yeah, there's two answers to that. One is what Shiraz is alluding to, which is bribery. You offer them lots of food, you offer them lots of holy smokes
हाथ का
burgers.
पकड़ा हुआ था स्टेक्स लैम चॉप्स कमिंग अप अब तुम सबको बीफ वेलिंगटन भी अभी मिलने पिक्चर्स मिलने वाली है
ओह
एंड दी
क्या
अदर
बात है.
But but the other one is what I think, what I truly think it is that people in this country are very passionate and they're very giving. And there was a statistic, and I don't remember the exact number, but like I feel that we were the top or in the top three most giving countries per capita in the world, Pakistanis. So we try and make sure that we can do our part as much as we can to help others. And this is something that is unique when I'm talking about League of Basketball, and it's unique for Pakistanis. So they come in, they try their best and give back. Uh,
Hmm.
I just think there's a lot of good in this country that we just don't give ourselves credit for.
I mean
Hmm.
like table like you have to love the game you have to love what we have going on to do what we are doing so हाँ table पे I think वही सही है
Right,
it's not that it's the same answer I think love for the community
right,
and what we're doing.
absolutely. And I think it clearly shows because the culture that people feel like they're missing out on is the fact that you I'm not sure for people who don't know how League of Basketball operates and outside of that is that even if there's been situations where you've had people lose like a really tough game, like a game that they really wanted to win and they lose that game and they have to do table right afterwards. So like in that sort of moment आप सोच रहे हो कि क्या यार क्या बकवास है छोड़ो कुछ नहीं करना but it's that responsibility and people
It's voluntary by the way like हाँ it
हाँ
is voluntary
like
Yeah, and they still
अंश
do
की
it.
बात कर रहे हो तुम एक ही
नहीं
है और कौन
no, no, like I'm sure there's been other instances where like like someone
Yeah,
like myself
yeah,
even like I've lost a
certainly.
couple of
Yeah.
games. I've lost a couple of games where I was like,
Hmm.
yeah, we shouldn't have lost
Yeah.
that game, and like we've been frustrated.
Ans
Yeah.
Ans हारता ही नहीं है क्या बात कर रहे हो? Let's definitely not talk about Ans.
I don't know if he's still watching, but Chavez, question: would you expand League of Basketball to involve other cities? You joined the stream a little bit late. We talked about this, and the answer is yes. Just trying to figure out how to do it, if we're putting it aptly. So, if you have any other questions, Chavez, we'd love to go on. Shazan, bhai, let's talk about the academy. I feel like that is a huge
Yeah,
part
sure.
of
Yeah.
something that is being done at League of Basketball. So, what does the academy and how did it come about, and what are the operations like?
So one of the objectives, I mean, the main objective of League of Basketball is to promote basketball in Pakistan. And how can you promote basketball in Pakistan if you do not teach basketball to the youth and the masses? So the academy was our first step into trying to do that. We found the best coaches that we could, and through them, we've established an academy. where kids can come and learn basketball. And through this academy, uh, we've actually been able to help a lot of kids hone the
Yeah.
basketball skills and fundamentals. And I think it's something that I'm really, very proud of. And I would commend the
Yeah.
coaches and multitude of coaches who have joined after we established it. They've done a
Hmm.
great job, and I think that's something that we will replicate no matter where we are. So right now in Karachi, when we go to Lahore,
Yeah.
when we go to Islamabad, we go to other cities, we're going to have to establish an academy in almost immediately when we do that.
This is to add on to what Shazan saying, like is probably one of the most important things that LOB has going. Because that is the future जो development कर रहे हैं. अभी तो हम current लोग हैं. We all were already playing basketball when LOB was established.
Yeah,
But how we can one of the key to your earlier question, Mars, one of the key moments is when also I saw academy running the way it was.
Mm,
I mean, the drills that the level of coaching you don't get in any other sport over here. At least not that I've seen. I've seen football, I've gone to cricket. क्या कहते हैं, so inshallah academy continues to go the way it does.
yeah. I think at the what he's trying to say is a very grassroots level because once you get into like professional level in cricket, like it's probably way more intense than what we do at academy.
Well,
But
yeah, of course. But like for
um,
defense Clifton में
I guess so.
you could
But
compare it with the
I guess the thing that Shiraz was pointing to is like the amount. Like you'd be surprised कि कितने छोटे छोटे बच्चे आके सीखते हैं. Like there's this
yeah,
mini
yeah.
hoop setup. If you guys don't know, so there's like I think it's like 6 feet or like 8 feet, and uspe you have kids as young as 3 to 4 years old, or I think even 5 to 6, 5, 6 max. You've seen the little redhead kid, Usher, I think that's his name. So he's 5 to 6 years old, and he like अपनी size की basketball होती है, mini basketball खेलते हैं, वो dribble करते हैं वगैरह, and उसके through ही they go, and so it's really like
so that
if he
it's
keeps
great.
playing like that's the thing that I keep coming back to is like if this kid keeps playing and he keeps getting coached, he will be so much better than
Yeah.
all of us.
So Coach Ans was telling me, not Ans, the player. Coach Ans was telling me
Uh,
about how this one kid who I think his parents reached out to him. The kid was 4 years old, and his parents said that the boy wants to find a basketball. So which basketball should he get? Because he wants to practice at home. 4 years old. 4 years old, practicing how to dribble. Like if you can instill passion at that age, then they can go
Yeah.
leagues and bounds beyond anything we've ever done in the sport. So
uh,
that made me really
Inshallah.
happy to hear.
no, absolutely,
Yeah.
it's crazy to
That's our
see.
future.
It's crazy to see. Okay, guys, now I'm gonna ask a little bit about the current like landscape of the league. With S7 approaching really quickly. So heading into the season, obviously you guys compete. You 2-3 SB, defending champs, of course. And
Am I on the roster this year?
huh? uh, ये तो I think it's in flux. I believe that it depends. I don't know exactly what's the situation. ये आप ही sort out करें. शिराज भाई आप रोनिन्स का रोस्टर ज्वाइन कर लें, कोई मसला ही नहीं है.
चलो आ जाता कल मुझे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट दो.
Sorry, guys.
Are you
Give me a
giving
second.
me
I think I missed something. Give me a second.
where do
No,
we go if we win?
no, it is
That's the question.
anywhere, Shiraz bhai, anywhere. But holy smokes, of course, why not? If it's there.
Oh, अच्छा burgers के लिए I get it now.
हाँ. मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ. अच्छा शिराज भाई, who are some of your favorite players in the league? Let's talk about some of your favorite players in LOB. And I want names that aren't as obvious, like we have names like we've heard names, like you have Timmy, you have Usman Khalid. Like I'm sick and tired of hearing these names
That-
over and over again.
My
Yes.
I think the last few games my favorite player to watch was Robin Hood.
Heather Harun?
Thief in the night, man.
Mm,
What a player. What a guy, man. Like I love good defense, and the guy plays very good man defense, and matlab his stats speak for themselves. Or I can also just see him improving all the time. Like his 3 point shot, chalo, abhi, he has to get his shooting in order, but he can pass the ball, he can dribble penetrate, and he plays insane defense. So he's one of my favorite young players to
Hmm.
Yeah.
And
that thing. And
Uh,
I love watching TV play as well. Tamil movie.
MVP, of
yeah,
course.
he was really good. Yeah, he was really, really good. He was going to be my answer. So, I mean, do you want me to talk about up and coming ones, or do you want to
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about the established players?
I mean,
I mean, up and coming
I
players.
would like fresh.
I,
I'd like fresh takes. We've had enough.
I think someone we haven't spoken about because RBL is still so fresh in our mind
Mhm.
is, and this is someone who definitely is the next big guy who's going. Well, not big guy, but like big thing who's going to come in. And he is currently, I don't know who he's playing for anymore, but like he was last season a big part of why the Ronins went
Oh my
to
God!
C1.
I knew
And his
it.
name
I
is
knew it.
name is his name is Zerko. Zerko is
uh,
fantastic. He is
uh,
a, and he's only in like O levels.
yeah,
Like
he's
that's
entering A
that is
levels this year.
that is insane. He is going to be incredible at basketball if he continues at this pace. So
Hmm.
yeah, he is one of my favorite players, and you know what happens if someone becomes one of my favorite players.
सही है ठीक है अब मैं क्या बोलूँ अब that's man मर्जी है यार शाहजैन भाई
क्या
ये
बोलो बोलो जो बोलना है.
They become champions is all I want to say.
right. Of course. You
They do
must really
become
love Hans
champions.
then.
He's one of my favorite players, and he's a
आपके
champion.
established players में
uh,
कौन है वैसे
so,
शायद?
so you don't like Mohsin bhai at all?
Established players.
Who do you like? Take 2 3 years be out.
I didn't say that. I just never said he is one of my
uh,
favorite players.
uh,
Who's
right.
what? Sorry, Shah, what was your question?
Established players में से take 2 3 years
Yeah.
be out.
Hmm.
Who
Oh, that's
are your
tough.
top three? Do you like
My
that you
top three
like
outside
watching?
of 2 3 years ago. Smart Khalid. I'm sorry. He's like aesthetically the one
Yeah.
of the most pleasing players to watch. It's really fun to watch him
Hmm.
play. Uh, do you have to talk about currently or just all time? Because
Yeah,
I think
currently.
okay. If it's
All-
current, then I'd have to really think about it. But I think Taha in his prime was really entertaining to
hmm.
watch. Like
Absolutely.
he was just a flamethrower. Uh, and I think when Zen has it going, and I know this is controversial, but when Zen
Hmm.
has it going, I think he's one of the most entertaining players to watch because he's like that Russell Westbrook prime Russ kind of situation. Like one possession, he can just get you whatever you need, and the next possession, he's turning it over and going, and like the ball's going the other way. And
Uh,
that was even like that's more the case when he was in his prime.
right.
He just needs to get back to that.
Right. That is
But
quite the interesting take. Um, I feel like if we talk about outside of the top two teams, outside of the top two teams,
Hmm.
who are your, like outside of 2 3 SB and just Omega, like who do you
yeah,
think is currently really good? So you name Zen, but उसके अलावा
who do I think is good, or which team do I think is good?
no, like the player wise, if you talk about players.
I mean, then you have to go to Mohsen.
Hmm.
Just
I was
he
waiting.
is the best.
Ah.
Yeah,
He is the
yeah,
best.
yeah.
Like
Ah.
there's no real conversation to be had. Like right
Yeah.
after 2 3 SB and Omega, it's Mohsen who is the best player in law.
Mhm.
And when he makes up his mind, he's unstoppable. He's
Yeah.
actually unstoppable. The only ones who can stop him is God up there and the refs down here.
Right. Right. This is an interesting topic. We'll switch back to management question once again. So Shahzain bhai, what is the situation with the refs like for League of Basketball? Like, how do you guys like manage refs? Does the federation provide refs? Do you guys work with your own
So
refs?
we yeah, so we've had an issue with the federation historically when it comes to refs. For whatever reason, they they don't outwardly say that they have an issue with providing refs, but when it comes down to it, no refs are ever provided. So we have had a group of refs who've been with us from the beginning, and they've been very loyal. They've been working with us since day one, and Yeah, now we've expanded. We've added new refs and hopefully moving forward we will continue to add more refs because I think it's important for the integrity of the game to also keep expanding from the ref side and holding them accountable. And we've
Yeah.
had multiple discussions with the referees as to how they can improve. And to their credit, they're very receptive of this. They welcome any criticism. They're willing to
Yeah.
adjust their knowledge and their
Hmm.
calls. The only issue that I think the refs have when it comes to their calls is that the players feel like they want to take control of the game in the
Mm.
game. You have to do it prior to the game. You have to talk to them about the calls, and then you'll see in the games they will be able to adjust their calls. Um, and I think the refs have done a not a amazing job, but they do a very good job. Like, because nobody's perfect,
Yeah.
and even if you can pull out like
Yeah.
countless uh, clips of the NBA refs messing up. You can do that in
Mm.
FIBA. You can do it on any level. So no ref is going to be perfect. All you can ask for is that a ref is
Yes.
willing to
To
make the right
improve.
call and to improve. And I think we have those refs.
Yeah.
And accountability, right? Like that
100%.
Yes.
that is basically it. So this is interesting.
To add
So
on to,
yeah, Shiraz, bhai,
uh,
go ahead.
basically, that's what we're also going to be doing is I think I told you this briefly, we will be having training sessions with them, inshallah, when I'm back in a week, 10 days. So I'll be going through film and with different members of the community and how we can continue to improve on this end as well. And they're very open, they're very receptive to it. When I go to them after the games end and क्या कहते हैं discuss with them कि अच्छा ये इसमें क्या सोच रहे थे but they explain it very quickly and where they're wrong they admit that as well.
Mm, right. This is an
Yeah.
interesting segue, I believe. So obviously refs is like do you guys ever plan on having like in-house refs or what, like obviously we have a very limited roster of referees right now and you guys want to expand, so what direction do you think you're going to take, like do you wish to sort things out with the federation, do you want to train your own
There's no
in-house
issue with the
refs?
federation वैसे.
um,
We don't have any current.
No, no, that's not what I'm implying. What I'm asking is कि like like अभी फिलहाल like the situation with the refs is that हम लोग के पास अभी refs नहीं है. Like league में the only refs we have are these people who like aren't exactly affiliated with the
Mhm.
refs. So do you feel like it sort of causes a problem for the players because they have to adjust to the different styles of reffing and stuff because LOB is different rules and when they go on to play other tournaments it is different rules, so what's your take on that?
When it comes to different rules, I can just say the best players in the world are in the NBA. The NBA has their own rules, but
Mhm.
when they go to play international tournaments, they play by FIBA rules and they adjust. So
Mm,
we try to keep the game as fair to play as possible. And I think when we see a rule that doesn't make sense, whether it's an NBA or FIBA, we adjust it and we try to make it as cohesive and sensible
mm,
as possible.
mm,
Um, we
Yeah.
can go through the examples. One of the rules we were discussing recently was whether or not if someone with five fouls, if you have only five players and the fifth player gets his fifth foul and is fouled out, should he be
Mhm.
allowed to stay in the game? And I think I was adamant that the rule that I think the NBA implemented is the better rule, which is yes, keep it a 5-on-5, but any fouls after that would result in two free throws and the ball back, which makes it a more entertaining game to watch
Technical
rather
free.
than having a 5-on-4 every possession. And then if there's a fourth player
True.
who's fouled out, then you have three players left. That would just be e- extremely difficult to watch. And I think there's no provision for that. They said if
Mhm.
the rule is if you go down to three players,
you
you
play with
just
three
forfeit the
players.
game. No, you forfeit the game. You can't go to three players. That was the rule.
Acha,
Yeah.
So
interesting.
I
I
mean,
find that so
yeah,
ridiculous. Like you might as well have
yeah.
called the game when the fifth player went out. Why do you stop at three? Why don't you play
Mm,
against one player? So like I just thought it was more sensible to go continue the 5-on-5. Any fouls will run two free throws on the ball. I just think that was a smarter rule, and
I,
that's what we have currently implemented in our league. So there are many rules
Yeah.
like this, and there'll be differences here and there. But like for
Hmm.
the players to be like, we don't know which rules to play with. Okay, so like it's okay, like it's all right. Like you can adjust. Right. Do your best.
Yeah. I mean, it does make logical sense what he's saying about the thing. Either way, it would be a shit game. Once you're people, even if it's a technical free throw
Hmm.
every foul, that's also that thing. What other rule did we also recently change,
I think it was
or like had
regarding,
a thing
it was for
about?
the rolling of the ball in RBL. That was a huge point of discussion. Um,
Yeah, I think there was a lot of confusion between essay Onachi and the technical that thing. We eventually got down to the bottom of it with what NBA and FIBA does. They I think do the same thing.
हाँ ये definitely discussion था about how, but Shiraz भाई जैसे we have a difference, we have a difference in how another great rule in lob is when someone throws a dime, lob counts it even if there was no basket, but the player was fouled and made one free throw. Okay, yeah, that is interesting. हाँ, that is also one of the rules that
What? Repeat?
if a player is fouled on the free throw line, and they're at the
Hmm.
if the player is fouled and they miss the shot, but they make one of the two free throws, so they get what do we call it? They get
This
credited for the
okay.
assist.
Let me try and go
हाँ,
have a go at it. If player A passes the ball to player B and player B goes up for a shot and is fouled in the process, then player B goes to the free throw line. If player B makes one of the two free throws, then player A gets the assist.
हाँ.
That doesn't happen in the NBA, right?
No, no, it doesn't.
अच्छा,
Okay.
it's not in the
I,
NBA.
th- I,
Okay,
th-
okay, okay.
I,
Interesting.
okay. Is it in FIBA?
I believe so.
I, I, I think so.
I mean, as a fantasy lover, I don't love that. So, but it is.
Right to see.
But it makes sense because you've
Um,
like the player
I
A
do get it, but
is a
wouldn't it be
contribution
better
has
for two of
contributed.
two? Two of two अगर
No,
होएगा तब जाके इसे मिले
but you okay? So what if he gets fouled on a three?
on a what? On
On
a
a three,
three?
yeah.
Three of three?
Why? Right?
Why
Why
not?
not
Because
two?
like
Not
that
two
was
of
the
three?
intended that was the
Because
intended shot.
because because in both in you put 2 points on the board. You see what I'm saying? You've added to the points. Like if your pass wasn't there, the
I
2 points wouldn't be on the board.
he assisted on the shot that he would have made, right? And he has to whether it's two or three. If it's a 3 point, it should be three free throws made. If it's a 2 point, then it should be two free throws made.
Okay, but why should the guy who's passing the ball be penalized for the poor free throw shooting?
And I mean, he's not being penalized really. Like, well,
Yeah, I
there's
mean,
no
if,
guarantee he would have made that shot either.
yeah, that's why one free throw because he's contributed now to the scoreboard. See what I'm saying? Like one free throw make
I mean,
means that you've
I do
contributed to
see,
the scoreboard.
I would see it if it's both, you
hmm.
know, just because then it's too easy. That would,
Sorry to cut you off,
anyone,
It
someone,
guys.
doesn't have.
even
Uh,
50% free throw shooters are going to make it,
Yeah, we
get
can
it.
we can agree to disagree, but
uh,
it doesn't have to be difficult to get
Fair
an
enough,
assist.
yeah.
but guys, sorry to.
There's no
This is
reason.
a
Moving
little
on.
peek behind the curtain into how certain rules are discussed at LOB, and like how they're
Everything
implemented,
is there's always an open
and
debate about
and
everything.
इसी तरह like they're discussed, and like are there any changes to the rules as such that we can expect maybe in S7, Shahzain bhai, or is there something that you guys are looking to sort of launch in S7? Is there anything big in terms of LOB that you guys are thinking of doing?
Rule wise, I can't recall. I think we pretty much streamlined a lot of the rules.
Hmm.
Then I think the one big one I think that we're going to make sure and we're going to definitely, and we did it in RBL this time as well. We're going to enforce players leaving benches in case of any altercations happening on the court. So if there's an issue between two players from different teams, like if
Hmm.
one player is getting in another player's face, the benches must stay put. If they leave the bench and go to the court, get onto the court, it's an automatic suspension. Uh,
Hmm.
we do not. We have a zero
Got
tolerance
extra time
policy for
pretty much.
violence.
Right. This
And if the question is what,
Yeah,
then who's going to control the fight? It's the responsibility of the refs, the players on the court, and security.
and the
These are the
manager.
three different.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, management goes under like
yeah.
different levels,
yeah,
but I'm going to be very clear. Players, refs, security. These are the
yeah.
three key people, personnel who will be responsible for diffusing the situation.
वैसे I think like instead of the players maybe because there's a conflict of interest obviously I think
I
maybe
understand that, but I'll tell you why I'm including the players on the court because they are the closest to the two people who would be in the
yeah
infraction. So if
mm,
they instinctively try and hold their teammate back, I don't think you are going to be able to penalize them. They're right there and they're trying to defuse the situation.
Yes.
From my experience, people coming from the bench all the
mm,
way to the court, they
yeah
are not trying to
Yeah.
defuse the situation.
yeah
They're
it's an
usually involved in
escalation
escalating the
yeah
situation, which is
mm.
why I strongly believe that this is going to be very beneficial
नहीं
for us moving forward.
नहीं I'm just the situation that I'm considering perhaps maybe is that maybe like the assumption here is that the players that are on the team would not would be involved in maintaining the good spirit and like diffusing the situation but what if they are
Yeah.
also party to escalating because of
Well,
one
Then they
in
will
that
be penalized
again, and
accordingly.
yes, they will exactly they'll be
huh
penalized accordingly.
right okay
And if, yeah, so nobody from the bench should,
if,
because the more people are there, the more difficult it is to handle, right?
hmm
So stay on the benches and let the people, and we hope and we trust and hope
right
that it doesn't
yeah
happen
yeah
in
नहीं नहीं of course
ऐसे कुछ ना हो कि 10 लोग ही लड़ पड़ रहे हैं
नहीं
मतलब जहालत नहीं चला रहे हम इधर बास्केटबॉल है इट्स a fun sport it's not a violent
नहीं नहीं,
sport
I don't think
so
it's ever been like इस level की I don't think कभी हुई है and
mhm.
again goes back to the
So
community and
hopefully
camaraderie हाँ
yeah
नहीं नहीं इंशाल्लाह इंशाल्लाह
malice in the palace अल्लाह करे ना हो but
uh, नहीं नहीं I
क्या
don't think
कहते हैं yes just behave yourself otherwise I'm shouting at you
yeah if you know what happened in RBL you know but
Yeah,
मैं बस शायद बोल रहा था कि the only change perhaps that maybe we should is that should there be an exception for the captain of the team and because they're obviously held to a higher standard being the captain so if maybe the captain should be allowed to come in and help
no
diffuse
definitely not.
no
hmm.
Definitely not. Because
during Shahzain sorry,
yeah,
during Shahzain's game in that particular Shahzain was on the bench. He didn't come out,
yeah.
right?
Mm,
In fact, I was the one telling everyone to stay on the benches.
In
And
the bench, yeah.
the reason is because I also believe because of the elevated status of the captain, if they're on the bench and they get involved, and if there's any
Everyone.
escalation towards the captain,
right
then it
right
gets
right
even
right
more out of him, right?
right
Like it can go
Hmm.
the other way very fast. So if they're on the court, they need to be the ones to try and diffuse the situation. But if they're escalating it, then it can get even like
right
it can go completely out of hand. So it is always a case by case thing. We're going to take it one instance at a time, but hopefully with this rule in place, it's going to reduce the variables rather than increase the variables.
mm.
If you understand.
Hmm.
Okay no no I understand all right so in terms of like discipline and stuff, obviously management itself can be biased and stuff. So, what measures have been taken to sort of sort of compartmentalize that whole process of for example, like if I'm a part of management and I do something that's terrible or something that should be punished, like if I shove a player or get into a fight. So, what is the due process and how has LOB sort of separated um, that whole?
Well, Shiraz,
Management gets punished harder.
Interesting. Management is held to a higher standard.
We were, of course, man. If we're the face of the league, we have to always act like it. In my opinion.
yeah. And we also have a disciplinary committee in place to
Oh yeah, yeah,
assess
that. Mhm.
not just for the players but for the management as well. So it's never the management who decides their punishment.
Yeah.
It's a disciplinary committee. and the mandate given to them is that if it is a management person involved, the punishment should reflect the stature. So, like Shiraz said, if it's a management person, they should be punished harder
Mm,
or
Yeah.
worse.
That that is
Hmm.
obviously like a great way, and I think this goes back to the fact about, being transparent, and in terms of integrity, it really
Hello.
does do a lot. Yes, sir. Hello. Yeah, can you hear us, Shiraz bhai? I think I think Shiraz bhai having a little trouble, but yeah, if you guys have any
Yeah, I
more
think
questions, let's go at them. But okay, here's an interesting question that I've been holding on to. And I think this is going to be a fun debate. What is the greatest individual performance that you have seen in LOB?
the greatest
Yeah.
individual performance.
Sorry, my net got cut off.
No
गांव
problem.
में ये मसला होता
Uh,
है.
that's interesting. In LOB history,
What?
hmm,
क्या हुआ? What's the
the
question?
greatest
My
individual
net got cut off.
performance,
The,
the
Oh,
greatest individual performance in LOB history. I don't know. Does that include RBLs?
yeah, let's do one with and without RBLs.
Okay. I mean, oof, I don't know. I don't really follow or remember all the great performances, but I would say like any 60-point performance was spectacular.
There's only been one.
So
There's only
yeah,
been
and
one
that's
in the
by
what?
regular
Liga One,
season.
and that's by
Who?
NBA.
Yeah,
So NBA's 60-point performance was pretty spectacular. So I mean, I know everyone was feeding
Really?
him the ball, and they were
Jesus.
trying to get him to 60, but
yeah.
60 is 60. So that's and no
Yeah.
one's topped that mark,
Hmm.
especially in 10-minute quarters. So I would have to tip my hat to that.
TD's 45-point game this season was also something to watch. That was a lot of fun.
Hmm. That was definitely a lot of fun. But I think from this RBL, here's my answer. I have a different answer for LOB and I have a different answer for RBL. For For RBL, I would have to say it was, I think, Usman Khalid's game in the final, like to take them to overtime, the one and only overtime game in a final in LOB history, craziest final
Yeah,
possibly ever. Uh, like we just had a crazy final
it was
a few
incredible.
months before it, and then
That
for
was
it to be
insane.
outdone immediately the next month.
I'm telling you, man,
Uh,
the gap between teams is shrinking. Players are getting better. Everyone's getting better. And
Hmm.
these players who are at the top of it, they're getting better too because they can
uh,
see these
Yeah.
the young bucks coming
The,
behind them, so they have to continue to improve their game. So yeah, Usman Khalid
yeah,
is
but
always a
these
very
some of
easy
the
answer
yeah,
to
yeah.
but
any of these questions.
Whoa.
but
What's your
regardless,
lob on Mars?
wait,
I think
uh,
I'm not gonna slight you for choosing that. That's a
uh,
fantastic,
that's
fantastic
34
performance.
points,
That was
26
incredible.
rebounds, 8
I might a
assists.
little bit. He should have gotten the W.
Hmm. Yeah, I
I
mean,
know you're salty because you picked
hmm,
them to win.
yeah. No, I
Yeah,
would.
man, like bull shit.
It's
I mean I think
But no,
the run for this
Sharman did a great job.
that that run was
That was a
incredible.
insane.
absolutely.
They basically needed to go
How many
undefeated
games
after
in
three losses. Three losses. 3 straight
games in
losses.
9 days?
Yeah, and they won. Yeah, so not only did they win all their games, but they had games like back
Seven
to back to
games
back to back
in
to
8 days.
back.
8 days.
Yeah,
Insane. 7 games in
yeah,
8 days.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's of course,
It was
they weren't my pick. Or they were nobody's pick. They were a joke in the first 3 games, but yeah, they showed up, dude. Like that should be a lot team.
Ooh.
they were really good.
आप
They were really good.
rumor mill spice up कर रहे हैं आप शिराज भाई. But yeah, my pick for the individual performance was that Usman Khalid game, and for Lob, I feel like it was Shaf's game in the final,
Hmm.
and Shaf's game in the final, this season's final, man. That was special.
Yeah, man, I feel like you have a lot of recency
That
bias, but
No,
Shaf
no,
is
I understand why I feel that way, but
so do I,
like
because I haven't watched a lot.
I feel like
I'm
the
never
recency
gonna
bias
slide a two
is.
three SB
Hmm.
pick.
I know.
2 3 SB pick is great, like great, awesome. But like, goddamn, bro, like
I know.
there's so many, there's
Really.
so many great performances in the history of
The
LoB.
other the
You
other
can't.
lob the other lob
It's
pick
so
I was gonna
difficult.
pick the other lob pick I
Okay,
was gonna
mention
pick
a few.
was the season 4 finals performance by Osman.
That was also really good.
Oh, the one where he won MVP, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
ओह या that was it. जिसमें वो जो मैंने नई ट्रॉफी बनवाई थी वो ले गए थे वही वाली की बात कर रहे हो या
yeah,
वो सीजन 3 या
yeah.
4 है
That's season 4. No, season 3 was before that. Season
yeah
3 was
that
when Usman Bashir won the Finals MVP.
Yeah. Versus the
okay
Mambas.
no the yeah that game was insane as well yeah
Mm.
that
So
was Usman Khalid's coming out game right
I
No, no, Usman Khalid was already out.
uh,
He just reintroduced himself.
was he out
yeah.
or was he really out
Um, I mean,
He reintroduced himself.
yeah, that was I think the first 30
Hey,
piece in the finals ever. But Shaf's game, man, like 14 points in the
Shout
fourth
out to
and
Shaf.
quarter.
Shah
Shout out to Shaf, man.
That
I miss
that
that. I
and
miss
that
that kid.
block and that
Yeah.
block
Oh, that block
that
on
block
time
was
over there.
I'm
insane
like,
Oof.
what a
oh
block.
nasty
If
nasty
you, I don't know if you guys know this, but while he was running down the court, he wasn't the first person there.
Nah.
Nishan Abu was
Yeah.
right ahead of him,
I've seen
and
the
all
clip.
Shaf
And he's
kept
like,
yelling.
don't fall, don't
Don't
fall.
foul.
Shaf,
Don't
yeah,
foul him.
Shaf kept yelling. He said, "Just don't foul him. Don't foul him. Don't foul him." And
Don't fall, don't fall.
and we just and as old guys, we were just like, yeah, he's just gonna let him take the layup. I guess it's better,
Uh,
two better than three. Shaf had different plans. He's like, I'll show you.
okay. Right.
Oh,
God, man.
that's insane.
That's my lob picks. Those are my lob picks. So
Fair enough.
इसके अलावा if there was anything I had to pick, hmm, well, there's been a lot of great performances. Again, man, it's these two guys. Yeah, I love that game. Like my favorite regular season game is probably uh, the first game that Zico played in season 5 when he came back. It was Mohsen versus Shaft. That game, so much fun. Like that was Shaft's coming out game, I guess. After the
I think
quarterfinals with
Shaf's
the
coming out.
Mavs,
No, no, no.
quarterfinal versus
Yeah, that was the
yeah that
Shaf's coming out. That's when
uh,
he let everyone know.
okay
Yeah.
he's
I'm the
joining to
man.
3SB.
When that
That's
guy,
not
when
happening.
Henry
That's
went
not.
down, no?
Bro, I miss Henry, man. Henry,
I,
bro. I miss Henry.
Henry.
That's my answer to the question. The up and coming guys, Henry.
Henry Michael Shaw, if you guys have,
Where is Henry, man? Why isn't he
he's in
back?
Lahore. He's in Lahore. ये
He's
लाहौर
in
का ही था.
Lahore, man.
He was here for I think just like a rotational shift during his nursing studies. So that. Acha
Hmm.
Shahzain, here's a question. Shiraz bhai, you also please answer. Who are your goats, respectively, like in
I
basketball?
think LeBron is pretty good. Uh, Michael's there and Kareem. I think these are the three guys I would put at the coach.
Michael, Kareem, and LeBron. And Shiraz bhai, you?
Yeah,
No, pick one. Pick one now. Pick one.
it depends on how you ask the question. Uh, best peaks. Best peak I would say is Michael because he had a very dominant stint for like 8 years, where he just wouldn't lose.
Mm.
LeBron has complete, you know, 20 years of domination. And then there's Kareem also, who
Yeah.
literally only had one move and was just dominating the league for
Most
20 years.
unstoppable.
With one move. With one move. And that's all
Uh,
he did.
I
So
mean,
I think that's pretty great.
yeah, I love Kareem as well, but Michael is my goat. He's not
I
my
mean,
favorite player, but he's
okay, fair enough.
how you define it, man. It's how you define growth.
Absolutely.
my
Okay.
Michael Jordan for me. And but same thing with LeBron. I respect LeBron a lot for everything that he's achieved and he continues to achieve. Like he's also one of my favorite players to watch.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, no one, see, the thing is, greatest is so vague. Who's the greatest passer of all time?
I
Is it
agree.
Michael? Is it Michael? No,
Yeah.
we'll say it's LeBron. Who's the greatest scorer of all time? Is it Michael? Some people might argue it's Kobe, but or you
Yeah,
can say it's
it
KD. Who's the
of
greatest
course.
defender of all time? People will say Hakeem. They'll have other options.
Hmm.
So it
Absolutely.
really depends on what you value. And when
Hmm.
you do a cumulative of everything, it's very, very difficult to say that this person is
Yeah.
definitively better than the other one. And if you like also single year peak, who do you think is the best of all time?
Mm,
I would have to at this point,
Michael.
if you ask me, I might throw
Mm,
in
Sorry?
Nikola
Mike.
Jokic.
Jokic, bro. That's
Jokic
not even a single. Not even a
this season,
single.
no, no, but this season until like maybe last week, I haven't checked since then.
uh,
His his offensive rating on the floor
uh,
is the greatest of all time,
yeah.
right? Like his team has the highest offensive rating of all time when he's on the floor. When
Mm,
he's off the floor, his
yeah.
team's offensive rating is the worst of all time.
Oh my God.
And if you want to measure the best player or
That's a
what's the
pretty good.
most valuable player,
Most valuable player.
that's how
Yeah.
you define it.
Definitely.
So he is the best that has
I
ever
am
been
all
human
for
beings.
Jokic for MVP this season. Shea is having a great season. It's just so unfortunate that it
Yeah.
comes in the middle of this Jokic season, and I feel like it'd be such a tragedy that if he doesn't win the MVP. Um, so it was
I
crazy.
promise you, I can't really, you know, falsify it, but no one can falsify it. But I believe if he was just more mentally like or spoke like Kobe, like,
Mm,
oh, I worked the hardest, I
yeah,
love this game.
He's not,
Not
he is,
every
he's
single
broccoli. That's the
person,
thing.
every no, but if he did that, if he's like, I love this game, I'm the lover of this game, I've killed myself, he would win every MVP.
That's the same thing
Everyone
with
would give
Tim
him
Duncan,
every
bro. Like
MVP.
Tim Duncan is better than Kobe if you let it thread.
oh
In my
yeah,
I didn't
opinion,
say
like I
I
like
didn't
Tim
say that.
Duncan better than Kobe in terms of play. Okay, when you talk of even going back to the GOAT conversation, Shazan, I completely agree with you about how dumbed down the conversation usually is between LeBron and Michael and that thing. You
Yeah.
can't just. We are all obviously talking about hypothetical, different eras, and um, yeah, the completely different skill sets, and they had completely different teams as well. It is a team sport at the end of the day. So when
Yeah.
I also talk about the goat, I'm also talking about like what you did for the game off the court. You know?
Yeah.
mm,
LeBron's done a lot of it for the game off the court. Like there's so like if you want to add
For
variables to
sure,
it, you
for
can
sure.
just keep going to infinitum.
yeah.
But like at the end of
It
the
is what
day,
it is.
you're not
Yeah,
going to
but
convince anyone
Jordan wins. Oh,
because I'll tell you what it is. The greatest of all time, the GOAT, one of the most important things that people leave out in these conversations is how does this player make you feel? And if that is a variable that truly decides it for you, then your GOAT will always be the guy that you grew up watching or you associate
yeah,
yourself
yeah.
with the most. And
Absolutely.
that's why the old heads will always say Michael, the younger ones will say
I didn't
LeBron,
watch
and the
Michael
ones, yeah,
though.
well, you're an older head than most of the people, right? Like you didn't even watch, you
Fair.
barely watched Kobe. So in my
Exactly. Yeah.
opinion, it's like, what does this person make you feel? And I think Michael makes you feel a certain way, like you resonate with him more than
Absolutely.
you do with LeBron. And so like that,
Uh,
that's just that is
Maybe
a big part of
in
what
terms
these
of
conversations are.
leadership styles, I actually like LeBron's leadership better than I do
Yeah,
Michael's.
yeah. And
Mm,
Ans loves
But
Kobe
in
style, and that's why Kobe will be his
yeah,
GOAT.
that is.
It doesn't matter what the facts are. Like
yeah.
you can explain to him how not good Kobe is,
No,
but
I
he'll
think
just be
like
like,
look here's
love him.
I think Ant resonates with the work ethic of Kobe and maybe
Yeah,
the other stuff as well. I haven't had too much of an in detailed conversation, but Kobe was a lot of flair and he was a good salesman. Like Jokic is not a good. He doesn't sell himself very well. Kawhi didn't sell
doesn't
himself
need to.
very well.
Yeah, because these guys don't need to.
So
They just go about their business and they're just
And they
different
play.
people, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they just play.
yeah,
Like for someone like
and
Kobe, and like I think what Kobe did was a very was great. Like he made everyone believe that hard work is important, but he did a huge disservice to the rest of the league. What he then showed was that a lot of the players or all the players in the NBA just don't work hard. Like, do you have any idea? Forget NBA. What a
yes, that's true.
college level athlete has to do just to get onto
Yes,
the
that's true.
roster, like what their workout ethic is like, it's absurd. Like like Kobe makes it seem like nobody worked except him. That's
Absolutely.
not true. Like these other
Mm.
guys, there's such a thing as overworking. Like you can see so many players get injured. Why do you think that is? It's because they overwork their bodies to the to the like to levels that they get injured. You think Joel Embiid just breaks down because he's a big guy? No, he works hard all the time. He's always going into the paint against huge men and putting a strain on his knee, on his body every single time
No,
out.
I
That's why he
think
gets injured.
that's a Joel Embiid. I think he has an issue with cheeseburgers and mixed milkshakes,
I
See, that's
according
that.
to the
This
report.
is this is
But I
this is
get
what
what
I'm
you're
saying.
saying. Like
This is what I'm saying.
everybody in the NBA does work hard. I think
uh,
Kobe Singh was taking it to the just being so dedicated. You're not distracted by anything else, and
no, I definitely
I don't
think. I think yeah,
it's
like
not like you still have to take care of your body and not overwork it. But I think Kobe's main thing is also more क्या कहते हैं, you're living and breathing in that. And lot of players do work hard, yes, but a lot of players also do get distracted. Like James Harden. Do you think
sure.
he could have taken it another level?
No, but that's why we don't put him in the GOAT conversation. Like I think the
I
people who
mean,
are in the
everyone
GOAT
who's in the GOAT
conversations are there.
conversation worked that insanely hard. Like LeBron
Yeah,
worked insanely smart and
yeah.
hard, right?
But see, this is what I'm saying. We don't talk about that because it's a given. With Kobe, that's like the main thing that he worked hard. Like, why don't we give the same credence or we just remove
He
that
said,
category
yeah, but
altogether?
part of it is
He
also, by
just
the way,
he just talks about it the most. Like,
part of it
okay,
was
dude,
selling his
the
book.
rest of them worked hard too.
Yes, yes. That is true.
one of the things that
There are a lot of
went
people in the world
overlooked.
that are like that.
One of the questions or things that went overlooked. That when Shazan you were talking about offensive peaks, I think one of our viewers he mentioned Steph's unanimous MVP season.
Yeah, but I think I also feel like
Hmm.
that was unfair to because the first unanimous MVP season should have gone to LeBron
LeBron.
in
Hmm.
2013, where he lost out by
Uh,
one vote, where one guy voted not even for the guy who came second, but for Carmelo Anthony, who was I think fourth in the on the leaderboard. But
that's
yeah, so
crazy.
Curry was also really good.
Didn't Shaq also have one?
Shaq almost had one.
Shaq also had one.
Yeah, he got left off
He
by
also, I
one.
think, lost by one more.
Yep.
But I don't know. I don't remember that season. Like what the specifics were. I just remember 2013's very vividly because I was like super into the
Shaq नहीं
NBA
था
at that
ऐसे?
Right.
time.
Let me
So
Google it.
Jokic, no, no, Shaq didn't win.
Shaq did not win unanimous. Shaq did
The
not win.
first
It
unanimous
was Steph.
MVP, and the only so far, if I remember correctly, is Steph in
Yeah, it's Steph.
26.
It's only Steph.
It's Steph in 2016.
Yeah.
So,
So what's the point of that factoid?
no, I was saying when we were discussing offensive peaks, and like you asked the question, though I think someone mentioned the Steph's unanimous MVP season is like one of the greatest season peaks.
Yeah,
But do you think
and
it
that's interesting. So if you want to define the greatest of all time as one single season of the greatest performances ever, you can throw Steph's name in the conversation like that. This comes back to my point.
hmm.
How do you define greatest of all time?
No, I'm
And
saying
can you
when
no
you
no
were
no sorry, sorry. Just let me finish my
yeah,
thought.
yeah, yeah.
And di can you divorce yourself of the emotional aspect of it?
Hmm,
Because when you bring in emotions to it, you're just like, this made me feel good when I watched him
hmm.
do this, and that's why he's the best or he's not the best, or for whatever reason you might have an emotional attachment. If you take that out, that's when you really start analyzing who is the best and why they're the best. But yeah, sorry, you were saying.
Right. Then I was saying you brought up offensive, like greatest offensive seasons, and I think now I realize that the point that you were making was about how the greatest of all time debate and how this ties into the greatest of all time debate. But yeah, even James Harden pops up in greatest seasonal runs. Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah,
That
yeah, that 37
uh,
point season. Or how
yeah,
much was
Yep.
it that he averaged?
36, I think. 36 was
One of my
insane.
teammates went to watch James Harden's 60-point triple double game with
Oh
his
my
wife.
God.
Until this day, till this day, his wife
Yeah.
refuses to go see another game because she's like, I've seen the greatest performance of my time. And so he doesn't
She
play.
had seen his greatest performance until last week when someone decided to drop a 61 point triple double.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
that's
but I
just
think
Jokic.
I think Harden still had more points.
No, no, this is the most points. Harden had 60 on the dot.
Oh, so he had 61.
Yep,
Wow.
yeah, 61.
Yeah.
Yes. What came
By the way,
like what did he need to do?
Uh,
Like I swear, if again, if Nikola Jokic had the branding of Kobe Bryant and that marketing team, we would just be like, why are we even who the
Shaz,
greatest? Jokic.
I'm sorry,
Jokic. Simple.
Shazan, sorry to cut you off. Someone in the chat has written here that you can tell your friend's wife that she should come watch LOB S7 because the show is coming back in season 7.
No way. Who said this?
I mean, Khizr Rahman.
Do you have insider information?
Huh? I mean,
Do you have insider information about the show?
Khizr Rahman is claiming that he's coming back to S7. It is what
Okay,
it
yo, if
is.
he's coming back to S7, I'll let my friend know right now. And invite me to come watch.
Alright. Hashtag we love you. We love the show. All of us
Yeah, the show
are
always goes
witnesses.
on.
The show must
When
go on.
the when the show goes on, you know the game is done.
Oh, yes, sir. What is it? It's like the real.
The highlight
So
reel.
yeah. That's also one of the most interesting celebration. Here's a good. What do you think is the coolest celebration, Shazan bhai? Like what is your favorite
When you lift up a
celebration?
championship. When you lift up a championship.
I mean, like in game, man. Come on, in game.
I
What's
would
your
do it in
favorite?
game if I had a championship waiting on the
Like you
sidelines.
wanna
Uh,
you'll pull the
I think
clay.
I
No, 1, 2, 3. You'll be like one, two,
no
three.
I'm just I mean I'm joking. I think Dame times is pretty good.
Hmm.
That's really really good. That's I also used to like LeBron's where he used to like
The silencer.
backbreakers,
The
the
silencer.
silent backbreakers.
And that.
And there's also the easy like
Oh,
but
that is cold.
I think actually now that I think about it, the coldest and actually the most amazing act like celebration is the Reggie Miller's
Oh.
this because that when you bust that out, you know it's sticking with everybody, not just the other team, the entire fan base is like that. And and if you ever choke later, it's coming back to haunt you. So like
Hmm.
that's that celebration. I like
Yeah.
that one.
Khadir Rahman said the Abu Musa special. Oh, I think it just means the yeah. It just means the
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah. That's a great one.
Shiraz bhai, what do you think?
Lol.
What do you like? Shiraz bhai, your camera's been off for a while.
It, I know the internet keeps lagging, even it keeps
Acha, acha.
getting better and worse.
Sahi,
Abhi, I
sahi.
just joined in. What are you guys talking about? The celebration from Love or NBA?
I mean,
Best
both.
celebration.
I've got an
Any.
answer that you guys will definitely. It's from LOB. I think you know which one I'm about to quote. It's the Ali Muttaqi special.
Oh,
Yes, Ali
The
Muttaqi.
what?
Shiraz bhai, you know what Ali
No,
Muttaqi
I don't
did?
know that.
Ali Muttaqi, his celebration
No.
was he hit a three, he made this, smoked it away, and then like rub his foot over it
went
after
back.
hitting a three. Man, that is like, I mean, you have to
What
clap for
about
celebration
Dino's
like
run back?
Dinos run.
I don't know if that's a celebration or just a walk.
Uh, uh, do you really call it a
It's a
celebration if that's
celebration,
how
dude.
he?
I've talked to him about
The
it.
Dino run back.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not. I mean, it's just how he is.
Yeah,
Oh
I got
yeah,
the Dino sitting next to me. He's telling me it's just he's not celebrating.
that's the yeah.
He's
That
just
Khizr
walking back.
Rahman is saying the same thing. That's the opposite of celebration. He's
That's just
dismayed. He has to do it again. That so Shiraz bhai, any other
it's
celebration?
basically like Jokic. Like,
Ah,
oh god, I have to go back down the court. Huh?
oh,
Let's do it again.
Basically.
basically.
He really is.
So
But I don't know. I don't know a lot of celebrations
hmm.
from LOB.
Not
I think
necessarily
Just
from
PG
LOB.
generally.
is done should
You can involve Omar as well. Omar, you wanna come say hi to everyone else? You
Do you
can
want
come
to say
say.
hi? Mark? Yeah. The, good.
Biggest shot in lob history.
Yeah. He wants to ask this question.
Okay, 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 okay. Biggest shot in lob history.
Usman Khalid's game tying three bank
That
shot.
was pretty much that was good. Hardest three to
Ah,
send
this
the
is say.
game into overtime.
I have an answer. I have an answer. Ali Azhar's three.
But
Hmm.
Last RVL.
that was that was insane. Ali Azhar's three was insane.
Last
Yeah.
RVL.
It's Zafar's layup
Yeah, I
in
was gonna say
season
Zafar's
Ah,
layup,
two.
but for me, Zafar's layup is the always
Season
answer.
two, yeah,
The
the
and
always answer.
mountain.
mm,
The first ever championship winning shot.
mm, biggest shot in lob
Yeah,
history. Fair enough. What other big shots have we had? Like if you think about it.
Zafar always comes
Uh,
down clutch.
I've hit a half court shot.
Ah, that was SHAHZAIN with
But uh,
the buzzer beater by the SHAHZAIN. Oh my god, that's like oof.
I
yeah,
hate the internet here.
Umar, you
Uh,
watch the just please
um,
watch the
please watch
stream.
the stream.
He's
Oman, join
asking
the
questions.
stream, man. Just join the stream, bro.
Umar's asking
Khiz-
questions that we've already gone over.
Khizr is saying bye bye checkmate shot. Yes, Khizr, absolutely. Khizr hitting the game winning
Wait,
three after
oh
Ma's
yeah,
interesting layup attempt. That was
actually that was amazing. That was
that
an
was
amazing
amazing.
shot.
That was good. It was also one of the best games of. Here's a good question. Well, outside of playoffs, what was the best regular season game? You guys think?
Regular season.
I have a outright answer. Raiders versus Void.
Sabres versus 2-3. Sabres
Raiders
2-3 has been.
Raiders versus Void. Ended on a game
Didn't
winner.
they go overtime that game?
Yeah, it went
Yeah.
to overtime, but
Raiders versus Void.
yeah, it went. It was won on a game winner by Mikhail,
Nice.
in the last second.
And that was the only one that Raiders lost, right?
Yeah, that's the only game the Raiders lost the entire season. Ah,
Uh, he's
ah,
saying Raiders Trojans. Sorry, Ronan's Trojans.
yeah, Ronin Trojans. That was our play-in matchup, and we were down by I think
Yeah,
we were up by four, and Abbas Bhai almost got fouled on a three-point attempt when he was going to the right, wild shot, absolutely end of game, S- and he made it. And thank God Ryan
yeah,
didn't foul,
yeah.
because if
Otherwise, it
so,
would have been a 4-point play.
oh my
You guys would have done it.
God, I was in
That would have been
disbelief.
hilarious.
That's the most difficult shot I've seen made, like in lob. Like
I mean, I made a half court shot, man. No one else has done it. Excuse me.
it was almost a half court shot, but this was like contested
I
as
know.
well. This was crazy.
Hey,
But yeah,
Really,
it's been. Oh, welcome back, Shiraz bhai. I wish your internet was so much better, but this has been a lot of fun, you guys. It's
I'm
been.
right under the cell tower.
thanks.
It's
Thanks for
Still
having
it's
me, Maz.
trapped.
no
Thanks for having
worries,
us.
no
You did a
worries
good
at all.
work.
Thank you so much. Any parting comments? Anything you'd like to say? Anyone, Shazan bhai and Shiraz bhai, is there any advice that you'd give to anyone who's trying to sort of promote the game, just as you guys are with League of Basketball? What would you like to say? Anything? Any comments on behalf of the league? Uh, the floor is yours, Shiraz bhai. I'll ask you to start first, and then Shazan bhai can close this off.
I would just like to give a shout out to the community, and I think I've said that several times today. Keep doing what you're doing, and anyone who wants to start out new, and yeah, you have an idea, क्या कहते हैं, work hard and just learn on the go, and just taking the first step is usually the hardest thing, and then it's पहिया घुमाना मुश्किल होता है, उसके बाद बस खुद ही चलते रहता है. So take the first step, and inshallah good things come out when you work hard.
Yeah, I was
And
just
to the
gonna echo
community,
that
like,
sentiment.
thank you for all the support.
Right.
जो भी है, it's just a pleasure being part of it and watching it.
Yeah, I was just gonna echo those comments essentially. If there's anyone who wants to, who likes basketball in Karachi,
कट गया?
uh, and Pakistan, you guys always have LOB. You can reach out to us whether it's through the
Hello.
academy, Instagram, or it's through or it's through one of our accounts in the LOB main page, Maz, me. Don't hesitate. We'll try and help you out as much as we can. And as far as
I've muted him, so we're good, I guess, for now.
okay,
uh,
and as far as the community goes, I just want to say thank you. None of this would have been possible without you. I know I've given a lot of credit to my team, and deservedly so, but the rest of you also, without you, without the support from the fans, without the people coming and tuning into League Report, this would not be possible. And we want to continue to serve you and continue to grow. And we hope we make you proud. Thanks.
all right, guys, it's been a pleasure having you guys on board. Thank you so much, शिराज भाई. आपकी आवाज़ बिल्कुल भी नहीं आ रही. हम आउटरो दे रहे हैं बस. We're getting done. I'm gonna stop streaming in a bit. But thank you guys for tuning in and watching. It's been a pleasure. These live streams have been a lot of fun, and all of you guys who bring in your questions. So that was the story of Lob. And hopefully you'll see more from League of Basketball and League Report. We plan on working together. Of course, we started together. We're gonna hopefully do a lot more together. So thank you so much for tuning in, and that was the stream. Take care, guys, and Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.